Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatarasuna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that. Everyone here's just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people are great. Let's go find out what this Tatarasuna mystery is all about.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
So what, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and what—
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the sword maker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events.
So first this strange person goes
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it just so happens that a friend of mine, even back then, Tatara Suna, was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of...
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes, you really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or may
Get to the point, for Pete.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the kabuki mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after.
No! Paimon just meant,
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected, and...
Oh, and please Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, okay, then even if we did know something about it, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
I haven't seen Mahamatra Sino for ages. Has he been playing cards this whole time?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive... As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Then let's put that discussion to the side. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nihira, are you...
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. Yes. As I told you once before.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason...
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twins' details in the... It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even... He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more...
Exactly! Or what if...
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. It seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Wow! It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temp...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of... I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine, let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident.
If there are no further objections, I suggest... Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's a...
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
this a small sap? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh! Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of THAT. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the...
Can you still sense where the heart of Irmin...
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't...
Hey, so... Say we did go run...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure...
Will do.
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it.
Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction?
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into 2 people at the Academia today talking.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara...
Oh? How interesting. Those 2 managed to deduce quite a lot.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you 3 are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your...
So...
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Didn't Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making... Huh?
This light... It looks...
Anonymous data.
Hey! Don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh! Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not...
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have, as I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the 2 of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry.
So you say, Escher.
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly—
Enough, Escher! I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your—
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, it's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who—
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as—
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which, if you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
the Fatui?
Just to create a minor inconvenience.
That's it. That's why you gave us your cursed technology. Just
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
if you give him my heart, he has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. You don't think of me as a monster. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are
Dottore. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from him?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must—
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space. He looks—
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor—
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just above all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace and the mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival.
Holy moly! So the doctor killed an innocent man and—
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new—
Tatori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders and...
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset.
Huh?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Ermin.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change? Done.
Huh? What the?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get your...
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than... But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared! Oh no!
Oh,
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? Ugh.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, we're running out of time.
We're out! And we're at...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will... I'm sorry, but...
An emergency? How...
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right! You can't just rewrite. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Sorry, Paimon accidental, but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? God, there's no way you... There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, so, alright, Paimon will start. First dish, and Drayan... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Is that a food What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're...